Okay. All right.
Welcome to our guest bedroom.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the guest bedroom in our office.
That's right. Yes, we've actually had a bunch of guests here. We're so happy. This is the reason why we have it.
Yeah.
You know, for guests to come, and we've had so many people take advantage of it, and that makes us happy. We like seeing people.
Yeah, we do. So we have someone arriving tonight, and so we have to film, get a video edited because we're leaving tomorrow to go skiing.
Yes, going skiing again. Very much looking forward to that.
Yay.
It'll be a nice way to cap off the year.
Mhm.
We've had a great year, 2022. A lot of stuff has gone down.
Yeah.
A lot. Some good, some bad, a whole lot of in between.
Yes.
So we thought we'd take this opportunity to highlight some of the good moments and the bad moments.
Yes, our top 6 best and worst moments of 2022. Honestly, I cannot believe this year is already like almost over. It is flown by. It's just wild. Like I can't wrap my mind around time right now.
Yeah. It's really odd. Like, I feel like just yesterday we were moving in. We were having our first salad in our apartment.
Yes, using the boxes to eat because we had no furniture except a couch.
Technically, that was 2021, but man, that move here, that would be in probably the bottom moments because that was not a good start.
No, it was not a good start.
It was rough.
That was how we ended our 2021.
Yeah. With the big rough spot. But that just meant that it was only upward from there.
Only up.
So, should we start with their top moments or bottom moments?
We should start with our top moments. You gotta bring up the gold chain. Everyone always comments on Cole's gold chain with the black because it just goes so well. It looks so good. So I took it out for y'all.
Swag.
Swag. Yes, let's start with our best moments of 2022.
Okay, you go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So my top best moment was actually when we went skiing in February.
Our last ski trip.
Our last and first ski trip.
True. It was our first ski trip.
I had never gone skiing before this, and so it was really, really exciting for me, and I was surprisingly better than I thought it'd be.
It didn't surprise me. Charisma picks up things like super fast.
Thank you. But it was so awesome to just try skiing for the first time. But not only that, see Cole ski. Like he had his own thing going on. People taking care of him. And then I could focus on myself. So it was nice like just having a crew that just knew how to work with you with the spinal cord injury and just like take you out on the slopes. And you enjoyed it. I love seeing you have fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. Mm-hmm. Definitely enjoyed it. And you had friends with you too, which that was awesome. One of our first visitors here. But yeah, I very much enjoyed that experience. Hitting the half pipe was probably a highlight of that one. Mm-hmm. I liked my instructor guy because he really went all the way. I asked him, I was like, hey man, give me everything you got. And he was like, I'll give you what I'm allowed to give you. And I was like, let's do it.
Yeah. No, you seem like you had a blast. Are you going to go for the full pipe this year?
Oh, I'll take all the pipe. I want all the pipe for sure.
Babe.
What?
You know, the pipe means something completely different.
I didn't think about that. You're dirty. Dirty. I want to ski the full pipe.
But this go around, you'll have 2 days to do it. So that is awesome. Like, it's just going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. Skiing is fun. If you've never been skiing, you gotta go skiing. It's just so much fun.
Yeah. And if you are like me, then try adaptive skiing. Yeah. It's a blast. Mm-hmm. It really is.
All right, now you gotta tell me your best moment of 2022.
Well, I thought about this long and hard.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I have a feeling, and I feel like you guys are gonna like guess the same thing because it only makes sense for this to be your best moment.
Right, and it is the acting. Getting my first real acting gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely put that as my top moment because that's the reason we came here. You know, we came here for lots of reasons, for sure.
That's the big reason.
But that was a big reason, and you know, I wasn't certain that I was going to be able to make it happen. And of course, getting one gig doesn't mean I have made it happen, but it took, I took a real tangible revolution instead of a step. It's a real revolution.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you. One real revolution towards, making that happen. So, very, very happy about that. And I also had a lot of doubts. Like, I mean, I honestly, I still have doubts about, like, is this something I can do and can do well? Mm-hmm. While those doubts are still lingering, that gig, I think, made me feel a lot more confident in my abilities because I think it went well. And the producers were happy, the director seemed happy, my scene mate seemed to be happy working with me. So made me feel like this is something I can do.
It is.
Which is, that was a little boost that I needed, So that's my top moment.
Yeah, that was a great moment. I loved being there and seeing you grind and doing your thing. Like, it was such a proud wife moment. Yay. So maybe that's my proud wife moment of the year.
Your proud wife moment?
Yeah, maybe you should say your proud husband moment of the year.
Oh man, proud husband moment? I think my proud husband moment might actually come later in this video.
When we talk about our worst moments.
Yeah.
Your proud husband moment is one of our worst moments.
Yeah.
It'll make sense, I'm sure.
It'll make sense. Just hang out for a minute.
No, your acting was such a good, moment of this year, a great highlight, and, everyone, including you all, I know, so proud of you, and continue doing your thing, boo, because you're going to do well.
I will. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
2023 could be a big year.
Even bigger.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It will. I'm claiming it. We're manifesting this.
Yes, put it out there.
And so our third best moment of this year, we thought about this one together instead of individually. Mm-hmm. And together we both thought our best moment of this year was when we had an influencer trip and we were able to invite my brother and sister-in-law on the trip, and it was just amazing, inviting them and then being able to see what we do from their point of view.
Yeah,
it just made us really happy and really appreciate the ability to travel and work with different brands and companies and just have such a great time on a trip. And we went on a cruise and it was just amazing bringing them along with us.
Yeah, perspective is an interesting thing to hold on to in this world because we're privileged in that we get invited on these really cool trips and we've done a bunch of them, so now it's almost like that those are just the trips we go on. That's what we kind of expect on these trips, but it's still really, really special. And so having them with us to just see the experience through their eyes reminded us of how special and how blessed we are. So it just helps us be even more grateful in the moment, and we just loved hanging out with them. It was a blast having them along.
It was a great time, and Cole and I just love being able to spoil the people we love, and so the fact that we were able to just give them this grand trip, and they had never gone on a honeymoon after getting married 6 months before us, so it was just such a good way for us to be look, here's your honeymoon, have a good time. I don't know.
Awesome.
It was really awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, I wish we could take everybody with us on all our trips.
Me too.
It'd be so cool.
We'll switch it up every time. Every trip we'll bring someone new. I know, it just makes me feel so happy, and it makes it feel special, so.
Yeah. Now, before we dive into the worst moments, I think we should reflect on our wellness journey this year. Mm-hmm. And we've been partnering with CVS on our wellness journey, and they're sponsoring this video. Thank you, CVS. So I know one of my biggest goals this year was drinking a lot more water. Mm-hmm. And I think I've done pretty well. Mm-hmm. With that. I drink a lot of water, which is frustrating because that means I do way more ICs, but I know it's good for my overall health and wellness. And then also taking the Pre Plus Probiotic gummies from Ollie. Those things are doing a great job keeping me on schedule. My body knows exactly what my routine is.
Yeah, he can't go to bed without his gummies. It's ridiculous. It's Chris, well, give him my gummies.
Keeping healthy while having my little treats. What more can you ask for?
I know. We also focused on working out. That was a big thing for us this year. And although we did a lot of working out, it was something we definitely struggled with, especially with the traveling. It was so hard staying consistent with working out. And I just don't like to work out when I'm traveling because I don't like going to the gym at the hotel or on the boat, on the cruise. I don't know. I liked being in my home and working out.
Yeah, it's not the same. We could have done a little better, but I'm proud of what we did too.
But that is something that I think we're going to carry on into 2023 is continuing to work out, continuing to drink water. One of my favorite products from this year would be the energy gummies because they had no caffeine and I could just take them when I was I needed a boost of energy. We needed a late night working, which happened a lot this year.
Did.
So it was nice popping in those gummies and getting another boost of energy. But it's been a great year. I think we did pretty good with our wellness journey.
Yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of our efforts.
Yeah,
and I appreciate CVS for being our go-to source for all of these health and wellness products.
Yeah.
And be sure to check out CVS yourselves for your wellness journey in the upcoming year, 2023.
Yes, the link is in our bio, and thank you for following along this year and watching us as we go through this wellness journey together.
Yes.
And continue into next year.
That's right. Now, worst moments of the year.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do we need to play like dramatic music? We're so dramatic. It's not that serious.
All right, you went first for the last category. So I'll go first for this category.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be on our Alaska trip. This is something we didn't share with everybody.
No.
The Alaska trip was amazing. Don't get me wrong. Let me preface this by saying we had an amazing trip. We loved it. We made a bunch of awesome friends from that trip.
Who were just here.
Yeah, some of them just visited us. So it was an incredible once-in-a-lifetime kind of trip. That being said, per usual with these influencer trips, we had a very, 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 very packed schedule. What that meant is we were exhausted by the end of it. Something we always try to do is raise awareness with brands on these trips when they want to have disabled influencers. A lot of times they don't really consider the extra mile we have to go through to participate. So especially like when we're traveling, that means Charisma's breaking down the shower chair, rebuilding the shower chair, handling a lot of the suitcases. Like I carry as much as I can, but the reality is a lot of it's on Charisma. And like our morning routine is like 2 hours. So when we have to leave on a coach bus at 7 a.m. in the morning, that means we're getting up at 4:30 so she can spend 2 hours with me and then have a little bit of time for herself before frantically packing everything and trying to get out the door on time. It's really, really exhausting. And by the end of the trip, just had a breakdown.
Yeah.
Like a full-blown mental breakdown that I haven't had the likes of since I was probably like a 3-year-old. It was that bad.
Okay, it wasn't that bad.
I was like crying and it was embarrassing, and it was just because we were literally just like at the edge.
Yeah.
A few things went wrong that morning where we like left some gifts behind that we had just purchased from the gift shop. We were the last ones on the bus.
We had a 2-hour morning routine that we were rushing through.
Yeah, and we were trying that morning, so we had to get that session in. And then once we got on the bus towards our next destination, hours away, we realized that my catheters were still in the suitcase. I had forgotten to get some in my wheelchair bag, which was incredibly stressful. So I didn't even know where my medical equipment was that I needed, obviously, which meant that we couldn't go on the excursion once it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And just had a breakdown on the bus.
We both did. It wasn't just Cole.
Yeah.
Like we were both literally in the back of the bus crying. And it was just stressful, overwhelming. We were just, by this day, it was what, day 13?
Yeah, and every day was like go, go, go.
It was not, like y'all, when I tell you, it was like go, 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 waking up every day at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then we're up until 10, 11 at night, and then doing the same thing. It was just exhausted, and we were just worn out. We're good with just the two of us on trips, but I think we've learned our lesson. If it's more than a week, we're gonna have someone else with us because it's just nice to have an extra pair of hands. But it actually, like, although it was like stressful and everything, it kind of worked out because we skipped that excursion and we were actually able to just relax. And everyone that went on that excursion were just like, you guys didn't miss anything. It was terrible, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, good, because we literally just like ate food, drank wine, relaxed. And it was
Took a nap,
and it was like probably the best afternoon we had in a long time just because we had a break.
We could just recharge for a moment. It's all we freaking needed, man.
Yeah. But it was a rough trip. It was great in many ways, but towards the end, we couldn't take it anymore, which is why we didn't really film much the last couple of days because we were just done. And that's the first time we ever had a breakdown on a trip. We've traveled a lot, and that was the hardest trip we've ever done.
I just haven't had a breakdown like that publicly, like ever, since I was a child, like I said.
It was, Cole makes it seem like it was so serious, like he was like screaming in the back of the bus. Like it was very quiet tears. Not many people knew we were crying either.
I was hiding my shame.
Yeah, that was a hard moment.
Yeah, I'm glad we got through that though, that was my proud husband moment.
Yeah.
That was an incredibly demanding trip that we went on. And despite that weak moment that we both went through, Charisma was very strong, was awesome throughout. You're a real trooper. And I'm super grateful for it because it really was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And I'm glad we got through it.
Yeah, me too. We did it together, babe. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
It was great that we had a breakdown together. We do everything together. We cry together. We rejoice together.
We feel all the same emotions.
We really do. No, I think we both were able to get through that. And it all worked out because the gifts that we had lost that day they were found. And so everything ended up working out, and we had enough catheters. They were able to get the luggage to us super fast. And so it all worked out. Cole had his medical supplies, but it was just in the moment extremely overwhelming.
Shout out to my man Carlos. If you happen to be watching this, we love you. Thank you.
You saved the day.
You are our tour guide and our therapist. Anyway, that would be my moment from this year. How about you?
So my hardest moment from this year is what we actually mentioned in last week's video, was the biochemical pregnancy that we had. And so testing positive 5 days in a row, and then testing negative, and then, getting my cycle. It was just a roller coaster. And I think that we had been trying for a couple months, and it was it's finally happened, and then just to be on such a high and then just go to such a low, it was very hard emotionally. And I remember I texted my mom and Kelly. I texted my mom and I was like, don't call right now. I just need a moment. Just wanted to let you know, because I knew as soon as someone called, I would cry. And as I was literally sending that text to Cole's mom, she called. And I was like, ugh. And I think it probably rang 6 times before I answered, because I just looked at it do I want to pick up this phone right now? And so I did, and then she's like, hey, how are you? And I just cried.
Yeah.
The whole phone call consisted of me crying and her talking, and I barely said a word because I just had so many emotions I couldn't get through it. And so it was just very, very hard emotionally. I'm not typically the type of person to cry. I just bury a lot of my emotions. I just don't like to show it, but it was definitely hard. Cole and I once again cried together. We had each other, and it's easier to talk about it now because it's been a couple months and just other people who have experienced it, but
it's been 5 months.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
And this actually happened right a week before the Alaska trip, which is why I think the Alaska trip also just became overwhelming too. It's just because we had so many emotions that we weren't able to fully deal with before that trip. And so I think a lot of things just came crashing down, to be frank.
It was the perfect storm of heavy emotion.
Mm-hmm.
That was I don't look back on that period, pun intended.
It's great, babe.
I didn't mean that.
That was good. That was a great pun.
Yeah, I don't look back on that window of time very fondly.
Yeah, it's tough, but we are where we are now because of it. And I think it brought us closer together as a couple, and going through that kind of moment together, I think really, really brings you together as a couple, because in a way it's grief and it's loss. Although it was only 5 days, sure, and people have miscarriages at 15 weeks or stillbirths, and that's really hard, or infant loss. But nonetheless, it still is hard regardless of how long it was. And so going through that together definitely made us stronger and allowed us to really talk and open up to each other too. Communication got stronger, expressing this is how I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
To each other.
Trauma bonding,
yeah. That's what you call it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
So that was a hard moment for me, but definitely for the both of us, for sure.
Yeah. So glad we got through that one together. And then another moment we got through together as well would be the fall.
Yeah.
Our first fall. Yay.
Our first fall in LA. we had a fall a couple years ago. Was our last fall? Did we have a fall last year?
When did I fall last?
It was Charlotte.
Oh, that was a couple years ago.
Did you have a fall since then?
I don't think so.
I feel like I was on YouTube the other day and I saw that Cole had a fall or something.
We use YouTube to check our own history.
I know, because sometimes we forget what happened in our life. We're like, oh, this video happened? Wow, totally forgot.
When was that? Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, it's the first fall that we can think of in well over a year.
But I'm really proud of that whole moment because, to be frank, falls can be super serious.
Yeah.
There could be some intense consequences, and we didn't really face any of that,
We were lucky.
I'm really proud of you because I could tell that you were really panicked in the moment, but you pulled it together. Together we got through it in a composed manner and evaluated the situation, made sure we were making the right decision, spent some time in bed, got in contact with the doctor, and we took all the steps, took care of it, and we got through it, and I'm good. There was never really any serious problem. We didn't even have to go to a hospital or anything.
No, we handled the situation really well, and I'm really proud of us for that too. I don't think it was necessarily panic though, babe.
What was it then?
Frustration and stress. Like, it was more stress and frustration. Like, I was never panicked. It was just like, it was an overwhelming sight and sound to like experience. Like, it was a loud crash, and then I walk in, and then I see you in a very peculiar position.
A very peculiar?
A very peculiar position. It's kind of a tongue twister.
See, they didn't even have to come when we fell. But they're coming now.
And just like, it was like alarming. But I don't think I panicked. Because like, I think the only thing I voiced is, what were you doing? Because I was like, how does it, because it's like literally never happened. And it's never even come close to happening that I was aware of. And so I was just very shocked that that even happened. And so for me, I thought Cole was just roughhousing, doing something silly on his phone. And so immediately that was my reaction.
Yeah.
But that only lasted like 10 seconds, and then we got you up. So it was very short-lived, but like that was my initial reaction. What were you doing?
I know. Got through it quick, which was good. And I have worn my chest strap every single time I've used that chair since.
Yes, he wears it every morning, every program morning. Cole puts on his chest strap because we are not taking chances.
So that will never happen again.
No.
Should never have happened in the first place. But hey, typical Cole, learning lessons the hard way. Now we know what's best. So.
Yeah.
We're good.
I saw in that video, someone suggested to put a Ring camera in the bathroom to watch Cole or to sit with him during his program. Let me just reiterate, Cole is a grown man. He's not elderly, someone who needs a lot of attention, or he's not a child who needs a lot of attention. He is a grown man. Things happen, but I don't need to sit with him and monitor him. Like, I think another time someone like came at me saying, never leave Cole alone. I'm like, he could be alone. So
I'm not an infant.
No. And so we took precautions. We put a chest strap on his chest, but Cole, once again, is in the shower and in the bathroom alone for a good 30 minutes every other morning. And he does fine.
Yeah, I'm just chilling.
Yeah, I need my alone time too, guys. I can't sit by Cole's side 24/7.
It's a typical guy thing anyway, right? To spend forever in the bathroom.
Exactly.
Isn't that like a thing?
I'm giving you what you deserve as a man.
What I'm entitled to.
Hours over the toilet.
Oh man, I enjoy reflecting back on like our time though, like especially this year. This year, like our first full year in LA has been quite an adventure already, and the adventure's only just begun, and that excites me a lot. And these happy moments, I think, in my mind, far outweigh the negative moments.
Yeah.
Even though we had some heavy negative moments, this has still been a fantastic year.
100%. Like, it was hard narrowing it down to 3 great moments.
Yeah,
there were a ton of great moments that we had this year that we absolutely loved, but those were just our favorites. And honestly, the 3 hard moments, those are the only 3 we could think of. And so there were a ton more happy moments this year, but it was a great year overall. 2020 was awesome, and 2023 is going to be even better.
2022 was awesome.
What did I say?
You said 2020. That was COVID year.
It was so awesome for us. We got a house and we got married, but...
Yeah, it was a good year.
2022 was a great year. 2023 is going to be even better.
Thank you all for coming along with us this year. We'd love to hear some of your favorite moments in the comment section, so please leave those down below. We're going to go back and watch a lot of our old videos today, probably.
Yeah, we always reminisce.
Yeah.
All the time.
We love it.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and stay positive. Woo. Bye.
We got a long way to go.
It is a long way to go.